Hello, everybody out there in the internet land world, to episode 110.
Woo!
That's right, 110 of Sis and Big Pop's Culture. I am Big Pop's Todd Turner, also known as Mosaic Fan Art.
And hi, sweet friends. I am Hannah Jo, aka Sis. Together, we are an adult daughter and father duo. We dive into all things geek, nerd, and fandom. Every episode is family friendly.
Hey, Hannah.
Hey, Daddy.
What's up?
Nothing much.
All right. True. Well, tell the peeps what we got going on here.
Well, friends, as per the usual, today we are going to start off by talking about nerd news to us, things we think are interesting and fun. We're going to chat about what we've been binging. Pops is going to share his pull list. And this year, LOL at my brain. This episode, on our 110th episode, we are going to chat about a con Dad just was a part of, the Nashville Celebrity Comic Con.
Yep. The inaugural.
Mm-hmm. OG.
The first is OG.
You were one of the OGs, my dear Papa.
That's right. And welcome new listeners who joined because
hi, friends.
Hit the button to subscribe to Sis and Big Pops at the con. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're going to just hop right in it. The first part is the part that makes us timely, our journalistic endeavors, which...
what are you talking about?
It's the part we like to call nerd news to us. That's our typewriters.
That's hysterical.
I wish we had typewriters nowadays.
I don't.
I know. My friend... Oh, you don't?
No.
You know, when I first started as a pharmacist in Frankfurt, they didn't have a computer. I had to use a typewriter. It was terrible.
I'm just... Imagine my brain using a typewriter.
It's horrible.
Every word would be spelled wrong.
I had to do a day.
It would be
research paper on a typewriter. I'm so
absolutely
glad.
Not.
Yeah. Anywho, nerd news.
Yes.
Since part of the news is typewriters, thing of the past. Now, next the article of news.
I'm dead at you. I'm dead. I do have a couple pieces of news that actually seem cool.
Okay. I'm ready for it.
Okay. The first one, you just had to know, and you might know this.
Okay.
That the George Lucas's original Star Wars theatrical cut
yes. So I know. Go ahead. Keep going.
is now streaming.
Yes. Do you know how to watch it?
No, but I bet you could tell me.
Absolutely. So first of all, you have to have a Roku app. You have to have the Roku and download the Cinema Box app. Okay? And then you can watch it. Now, apparently they have had this on there before, and I don't know how this works, and it just disappears. So
randomly, just willy-nilly.
By the time you hear this, if you're not listening to it live,
it might be dead.
It might be gone. This actually doesn't even have the Star Wars 4 A New Hope subtitle in the opening scroll, which he added in Star Wars, yeah.
Okay, I need you to know that Trevin and I
added that in 1981.
Trevin and I had a conversation about that because I thought it was always Star Wars A New Hope Episode 7.
Yeah,
and
Star
Trevin
Wars
was like...
4.
No.
It's Episode 4.
Sorry, Episode 4. And Trevin was like, no, it was just Star Wars. Yeah. And I was like, you're lying. And he wasn't.
If you watch my VHS...
Hey, that was...
And that's the only way you could watch it.
Yeah.
They said the only way you could watch it if you have VHS, Laserdisc, or a CD before the year 2006.
I need you to know...
before the year 2006.
For those of you who don't know this lore about my dear father, he hates, which is a strong word, but I feel good about saying that you really, really do not like the George Lucas remastered.
Yeah, the Lucasified. I don't like those at all. No, I like the simple. So
Yeah.
Yep.
And so I bought Dad
At
at
a
a
yard
yard sale after Googling when they were Lucasified, the VHSs, and whoever's husband.
Yeah, they're going to be mad.
I'm sorry,
They're
friend.
probably listening to this. I'm going to turn my light off. They're probably listening to this iPad, this podcast right now, going, "That's where those daggone things went."
I told you. No,
Yeah.
I'm just, I don't
Myrtle,
know.
get back in here and listen to
I don't
this.
know why it's an ancient
I don't know why her
gentleman.
name's Myrtle. Yeah, yeah.
But I just
Anywho,
thought, I was like, Dad has to know about this.
I knew it. I knew it.
Good.
All right. What else you got?
Okay. Did you see the trailer for The Electric State?
Okay, I wrote this down too. I did.
Okay. What did you think? Okay. It feels very like 80s. Not like 80s, 90s in vibe.
I think it's I think
Like
the
in
book,
costuming.
The book, I think, was 1997. So that's what I felt. I got that from it as well. Yes.
Okay. Yeah, it felt
Late
like
90s.
it felt historic. It felt like a historical time period in like dress of when everyone was dressing. Which LOL that the late 90s is now a historic time period of
It's
dress.
so funny, I know, but
That
it's
makes
true.
me want to scream. That was almost 30 years ago. Bonkers. And so what it is, it's humans. It's a retro futuristic past. And the story follows an orphaned teenager, Millie Bobby Brown.
She doesn't even look like a teenager anymore.
Yeah, LOL. She's an adult human being, but that's fine. I'd rather an adult human being be playing a fake teenager opposed to Chris Pratt than an actual teenager.
That's true.
I mean, I'm not mad about that. And Chris Pratt is like this. Anyways, it looks like, here's the vibes I'm getting. Are you ready for vibes?
Go ahead.
It's giving Ender's Game meets Ready Player One.
It feels more like Ready Player
the
One. to me.
creator.
I don't think it has anything to do with Ender's Game.
I know, but the like droids look like they're like run by people. And they look
that
like
part.
that they're
That's not what an Ender's Game was. Ender's Game was they commanded the ships,
yeah.
but they had real people in them.
They thought it was a video game.
They thought it was a video game. Yes, they did.
Yeah.
You're
So
right.
it's giving Ready Player One meets Ender's Game with like a creator twist.
Okay, I feel like to me.
It's more Ready
straight up
Player
Ready
One?
Player One.
Okay, fair.
That's what it felt like to me. But
Even some of the like shots. I mean, like you can only do
now,
a
did
shot
the
where
Russo
someone-
brothers direct this?
Yeah.
Yeah, and it comes out March 14th.
Yeah, it's like in 10 days. It comes out next
I
week.
plan on watching it.
2 weeks? 2 weeks.
Yeah, it's on Netflix, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 days from today when we record this. So I did see it. It looked really cool. It looks interesting.
It looks fun.
It's a movie I'll probably like that your mom probably won't like just because it looks like it could be all over the place.
Yeah, it looks silly, but it looks fun.
Yeah, it's like that. We saw the trailer for that movie that looked literally like a knockoff of Real Steel. What was that? Probably
I
Rock'em
don't
Sock'em
remember.
Robots or something.
There is a Rock'em Sock'em Robots
which
movie
is
that Vin
literally
Diesel
going to be
is
a real
meaning.
Steel.
Hysterical.
Oh, I didn't
Hysterical.
know this since you talked about Vin Diesel. One of my favorite movies, which is a terrible movie that I love, which probably should have been on my terrible movies that I love.
Yeah,
movie.
honestly.
The Fifth Element.
That's not a terrible movie. That's a good movie.
So anyway, there's a character in it that's like Bruce Willis's boss that he talks to on
Yeah.
the phone on occasion. That's voiced by Vin Diesel.
That's hysterical.
I just discovered that this week.
That's funny.
So have you seen? I've been looking at some concept art.
About what?
Well, first of all, let me just go ahead and let me skip that. Let me come back to that. The 2024 Razzie Worst Movie of the Year.
Hey, Madam Web! Madam Web! Pew, 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 pew! That movie was garbage!
We couldn't have just picked that. Yeah.
That's so funny. We watched that movie unironically. Moderately ironically.
Moderately ironically, yes, we did. But I didn't stop it, which is a good thing. Unlike the stupid other movie. I don't even remember what it was
because you're
about.
not allowed to do that to me anymore.
I know. I can't
Because
remember what movie
early
that
on
was.
in the podcast, it was like this house movie where this guy told scary stories.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was awful. It was on Netflix and it was awful. And
Yeah.
another one, it was, I also
That's the only one. Oh, we started watching Supergirl and I said, oh, let's not do this. This is really bad.
And then we started watching Space Jam 2, and I said,
And
don't.
you said, don't do that. Yeah, we stopped it too.
Yeah.
That we should make the movies we've quit watching while watching the pod. Anyway, so yeah. Okay, so
Madam
concept
Web.
art
Okay.
for two projects.
Okay.
One was the Fantastic Four concept art
Okay.
that came out, and it shows the female Silver Surfer. That was
Okay.
the headline. But when you go looking at the rest of it, there's Sue Storm with Franklin Richards, the baby. So the child is in it, and it's not, and the kid's
Child.
like 2 years old. So it's not a baby.
It's not a baby. I was
It
going to say,
looks
that's
like
a toddler.
And part of it was a baby, and it was funny because the part of the concept art, which I doubt will be in the movie, is like the baby almost getting ready to fall off the couch, reaching for something, and she's got like an invisible one of those bubbles around him so he didn't get hurt, and he's wearing Spider-Man pajamas.
That's so cute.
It's cute. So yeah, that looked really cool. That's what I liked about that.
That's so
we
fun.
probably, I'm going to say we're going to get
A Franklin.
Richards in this.
That's so fun.
Yeah. The second piece of concept art I saw was for the new Avengers, Doomsday, Avengers,
Okay.
Battle World,
Okay.
or whatever movie coming out. And it was a picture of people around a table, and it was it was Wong from
Okay.
Doctor Strange, Chris Pratt,
Okay.
all the characters who we would consider to be part of the Young Avengers. So
Okay. Yes.
the boy from Agatha, the new Hawkeye girl.
I'm dead at you. The boy from Agatha.
I can't remember if it was Billy or Tommy. I don't remember which one it was.
I just think that you're funny.
Wiccan.
That's all.
His name's Wiccan. But
I
anyway,
mean-
the thing that got it for me was in the corner is a character called Dupe, Doop.
Dupe.
You don't even know who that is, do
No,
you?
I have no idea who that is, Dad.
Dupe is a character that was created, I think, the early 2000s.
Oh, I see him. He looks like a pickle.
Yes, he's like a green creature. He was a member of X-Force.
I was gonna say, is he Wolverine?
No, he's not Wolverine. He's like a character he's definitely a tie-in for the X-Men.
Okay. Okay.
But his character was in X-Force. That was weird. And Dupe basically was the cameraman for the group for all of their social
So silly.
stuff. But
Dad.
I just thought that was weird that was in there. Yeah.
Dupe. There it is.
Okay. Dupe. There it is. All right,
Speaking
what else
of
you got?
green beings.
Oh, green. Oh, like Mr. Green Beans? Like
No,
the
speaking of
Jolly Green
beings that
Giant?
are green.
Okay.
Have you seen the teaser trailer for Shrek 5?
No, but apparently everybody's going crazy.
Everyone's
because
big mad about it.
I didn't see it. Do
I
they
need
like
you to-
streamline every character or something?
I need you to see what Fiona looks like and see how creepy she looks. Look at how creepy Fiona looks. Ah!
I don't know. It doesn't look that weird.
I think that, look at Donkey's face.
Okay. Well, but I mean,
I don't know, Dad. Here's the thing. People are commenting like, this is as bad as Sonic.
oh
People,
gosh.
like,
Well, listen,
people are like comparing it to
The
Sonic.
people
and they're
who
like,
made Sonic listened.
they're like, we can fix this too, you guys.
Yeah, they listened and fixed it.
saying.
And everybody loves Sonic. Said it's great. I've never seen them. We should probably watch one and talk about it.
But I don't know. The big thing about it is that Zendaya is playing the child.
I thought they had I didn't know it was a girl. Did they have
They
a
had triplets.
I didn't know they had any baby. All I remember was do the roar, but that wasn't their kid.
roar. I love
That was somebody else. I love you, Daddy.
you, Daddy.
That's the only thing I know.
Okay, I
Yeah.
have one more piece of news and then I'm done.
Okay. Well, I have two. Go ahead.
Okay, you go. No, you go and then I'll go and then
Okay.
you'll go.
So, are you psyched for what's coming out on Prime on your birthday?
April, what's coming out on Prime?
It's a new TV show that Trevin will want to watch called The Bondsman.
The Bondsman.
Trevin is Hannah's husband, if you all don't know who's listening.
Well,
So, The
yeah.
Bondsman, this is definitely mature.
Okay.
Mature only. Stars Kevin Bacon.
Okay, Kevin Bacon.
Kevin Bacon is a, like if somebody jumps bail or bond,
Yeah, I
he
was gonna
goes
say I know
out
what
and
Bond
captures them.
is.
Right. Well, he is killed
Oh no.
and then brought back to life by the devil himself to
No.
go and get demons that have escaped from
Okay.
you know where to bring them
Okay.
back. So they basically consider,
Kevin
the
Bacon,
home of the devil
a
as a
bondsman for
prison.
the devil.
That's what he is. But then
No,
he's
he's a
like,
bounty hunter, honestly. He's a bounty
basically he's a
hunter.
bounty hunter, right? A bounty
Yeah.
hunter. And he has to go out and get these demons. And it looks brutal and gory.
That's hysterical.
And it's by Bloomhouse, so you know it's going to be.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And
Trevin
it's a
just said,
TV show.
I'm in. Sounds awesome.
And it's a TV show. And he's like, so, and also I think around throughout it, he's going to try to find why he was killed, and he'll look at the things he did bad,
Okay.
why he went where he went, and he's try to find some type of way to redeem himself throughout it.
That's
So,
cool.
yeah. Okay. What's your next piece?
Okay. I didn't know that this had been made.
All right.
And so
well,
I was honestly like, what? And I watched
Go
the
ahead.
trailer and I don't know how I feel about it. A new Bible inspired series
Okay, yeah, on David.
Prime called The House of David.
Yeah, I watched a little bit of
Did
the
you watch the trailer?
I didn't much care for it. It looked weird. I mean,
Here's the thing. If you're going to make like an action series about someone in the Bible, David is a pretty good option.
I guess.
Like, honestly,
I think they're
like-
trying to cash in on The Chosen.
Oh, 100%. And I'm not mad about that. Here's the thing. I grew up I went to a Christian college. I grew up in a Christian home. I've taken in a lot of Christian media. The pinnacle being VeggieTales. The pinnacle,
I was going to say the best is VeggieTales.
The pinnacle being VeggieTales and Prince of Egypt. So, like,
yes.
Can good Christian media be made? Yes, it can.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it always? No. In fact, it is the opposite.
Yeah.
Typically, it's not good.
Yeah.
Honestly, it's not always great. It's just not. God's Not Dead. Not a good movie. Not a good movie.
Didn't watch it. But I liked the movie about the rock and the country, the singer whose first wife died, and then Jeremy Camp.
You liked the Jeremy? I don't know what that one's about.
It was pretty good. Is
it Jesus Revolution? The one that
I liked Jesus. I liked that. That was well done.
It's by the guy who did Jesus Revolution.
Okay. Well, I would be interested.
Okay, so House of David was created by the guy who did Jesus Revolution, written and directed by Irwin and John Gunn. I don't know who they are.
I don't know either.
It looks like the people that they cast in this movie / TV show. I think it's a TV show.
I think it's a TV show.
It's a series.
On Prime.
It's a TV show.
Yeah.
And they seem accurate to like
Okay.
what David may have actually looked like.
Well, I will watch it, but I will watch it with a skeptical eye.
The words at the end, I think, is what kills me. And there's been so many different, like even in sculpture. Like if you look at Michelangelo's David versus the other guy's David.
Well, nobody knows what David looked like.
No, that's what I'm saying is that there's been so many different like depictions of David and like one really.
Well, how about white Jesus that's up on the wall? In most
evangelical
people's
white
houses?
Jesus. Oh, hey,
Yeah.
Lord, white Jesus. Like,
Yes.
hey, I'm not mad. Live your life. I want it to be good, is all I'm saying. I probably am going to watch it and see what I think. The trailer.
Here's the deal, man. David, even though he was a man after his own heart, after God's own heart,
Man's be making some bad choices.
he made some bad choices, and then when got caught, he had to do killed.
He made even badder choices.
He made even badder choices.
It looks
that
like this
affect
is
his newborn baby.
Yeah, it looks like this story is like David is like a retelling of David and Goliath.
Okay.
Is looks like what the retelling is. But like he's already been anointed. Saul knows that he's been anointed, and then goes into
The good
David
thing
and
about
Goliath.
this is it'll make me go back and read my Bible.
Reread.
Yeah.
Reread Samuel.
Yes. There we go. Yeah.
Hannah's son,
Okay.
if anyone was wondering.
Thank you very much, Hannah's son.
You're welcome. Not me.
Okay. I had one last piece of news.
But yeah. Okay, sorry. Yes.
Superman by James Gunn.
Yeah.
Apparently, there are a lot of people who have seen it and said the movie is terrible.
Aww.
Yeah. So they have hired this hot, like heavy hitter PR guy
I'm
to
dead.
make this movie be a blockbuster.
I'm dead. Who'd they hire?
I don't know. I don't know
You
what
don't
the
know his
dude's name.
name?
Oh, I mean, it's in there. You could look it up. But
Apparently it's bad. I'm dead.
I don't know. I don't know. I want it to be good, but this is like James Gunn's tentpole. I mean, it's the first movie, right?
Yeah, it can't be garbage. It doesn't have to be like the best movie that's ever been made, but it can't be
Madam Web.
garbage.
Can't be Madam Web.
Yeah, it can't be Madam Web.
All right. That's all I got. That's my news.
No offense to Madam Web, award winner.
That's the news. Yeah, at least they have won awards.
Did you, man, the Oscars? I didn't watch it.
I didn't watch them. And apparently a movie called Honora won everything. No clue what it is.
And there was a movie about like a Netflix movie with
Dune
Zoe
won, like,
Saldana
costume
that
or something.
was a musical. That was like a weird musical, and people were like, "Why is this winning awards?"
I
don't
don't
know,
think
man.
anybody watched it this year, honestly.
I didn't.
didn't
The
either.
only thing that I watched was Instagram videos about a random man saying what outfits he liked.
Yeah, I didn't pay attention.
That's all I cared
I think
about.
the only movie that I watched that was even a
Dune.
mention, well, and the Bob Dylan movie. Which
I
really-
literally was
really good.
looking at what had been nominated, and it was like Dune 2 for costuming and like sound design, and I was like, that was this year?
I know. It's crazy. All right, Hannah.
Yes.
What are you binging?
Oh, Dad, I'm so
you've
glad
got
that
stuff.
you
I don't have hardly anything. So,
asked. It's honestly because I forgot to mention it last time.
okay, well, go ahead.
How to Train Your Dragon.
Like-
That's it.
Okay. Like all three movies?
How to Train Your Dragon 2 and 3. Here's what I did a couple weekends ago. I was like, oh yeah, Trevin's right. We always watch like Lord of the Rings Fellowship or like How to Train Your Dragon 1 and
Yeah,
like
you watched
all
Lord
of
of the
these.
Rings, the second one.
And so I'm like, well, let's watch the second one. And start there
Mm-hmm.
because we always start with the first one. I've seen the first How to Train Your Dragon movie so many times. I've seen the second one and third one maybe a couple of times.
Yeah.
So we rewatched How to Train Your Dragon 2 and How to Train Your Dragon 3 Hidden World.
And you own those?
Yes. I
Okay.
don't think
know if
Trevin
they're
has
available.
the DVDs, but we do own the streaming rights.
What? Okay, what's that? That's what I'm saying. What's it on? Do you know?
Prime. We would just
Prime.
have it on Prime. I
Very
mean,
good,
Trevin
yeah.
bought it on Prime.
Understood. Got you. Okay.
We also have started rewatching Daredevil.
But has Trevin even watched Daredevil?
Trevin and I started watching Daredevil a while ago. I don't even think we were married.
Okay, so are you still on like season 1?
We're on season. Okay, here's
He doesn't even
what's-
have a costume yet?
He does- no,
Okay.
he's dude in the black mask.
Gotcha. P.S.
Trevin
There
has-
is going
yes.
to be a Spider-Man reference in this new Daredevil
Good.
season that just came out. I haven't
I love
watched
it,
any
but
yet,
Spider-Man's
but I'm
not in
going to.
it.
No. Mm.
So we got about halfway through season 1. Here's the thing. We don't currently live in the same physical location.
Right,
And so,
so you
if
only have so
we're
much time.
watching a TV show, and Daredevil's long.
Yeah.
Daredevil's like each episode is like 50 minutes.
Yeah, I love it.
My dear sweet husband is like, okay, if we're going to watch this together, I need us to be pretty aggressive about it because I really want to watch the new season.
Ditto.
Or I can watch it by myself and we can do other things.
Okay.
And so here's what we're going to do. Trevin is going to watch it in his own free time when he's cooking and doing all of the things.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to get far, far ahead of me because this is what we do in all of the things. Because you know me, I don't like things to be over. He's
Right.
currently, and I don't like to have to wait. So he's watching Jack Reacher as it comes out each episode, and I'm waiting until they're all out, and then we're going to watch it together.
Gotcha. I've only seen the first episode.
So we're going to watch. I think
Good,
Trevin is
good movie, good
continuing. He
show.
probably has watched some of it or is like has it up now. But Trevin is going to continue watching Daredevil while we continue to watch it at a slower pace.
Okay, good deal. All
Because
right.
I've seen all of season 1, half of season 2. Trevin has only seen half of season
Then
1.
you got to watch Punisher. Gosh, it's awesome too.
Yeah.
Punisher's awesome. Watch
There
it
was a
after
person I saw at the con who was wearing a
this.
no,
Oh, you can go ahead
please.
and say it. Go ahead. Go ahead.
There was a person that I saw at the con who was wearing a Daredevil costume and had a Punisher backpack.
Yeah.
Did
he
you
was
see
very
it?
comic book knowledgeable. I spoke with him for a while.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Also, book count. Would you like to guess?
50.
Really, you would like to guess 50 books?
Yeah. No, no, because we're in the next month. 65.
82.
All right. 82 books. There you
Book
go.
count 82. 82 books read so far this year.
All right. Good deal. So I finished Big Bang Theory.
Okay, what'd you think?
This is very sweet. The ending was very sweet. It was a perfect ending. Yeah. So this would be a show that I could go back and put back on and listen to.
Would
and
you
watch.
skip through a specific season?
No.
You'd watch it from the beginning?
Yes, I'd watch it from the beginning. Yeah, because
They got on your nerves, though. They're at the beginning.
they did get on my nerves just because they always talked about,
Girlies.
well, yeah. Anywho, things we can't talk about on a family
Yeah.
friendly podcast. They talked about on there. So yeah, that was all on Max, I think. Yeah, I watched that on Max. And currently, because the last little bit, I've been trying to get stuff ready for this con. I'm watching Rogue One. I just love Rogue One.
Hey, you do love that movie.
So it's the best, after the original
I'm one
trilogy.
with the Force, and the Force is
Force
with
is
me.
with me. Yeah.
I'm one
bless
with
his
the
heart.
Force and the Force. Catch me crying in the club.
So that's it for me. And
Okay.
I downloaded a comic book series that Jack Kirby wrote when he got mad at Stan Lee and left and went to
I'm dead.
DC. And he created the pantheon called the New Gods. I've talked about them before
Yes.
because I like the comic book that's out right now.
Yep,
that's
yep.
Mr. Miracle, Big Barda, Darkseid, Light Ray, Orion, Metron, all those characters. So I'm reading them just so that I can have a better understanding and background of the characters. Because I love Mr. Miracle and Big Barda, and I still want to make that daggone mosaic. Based
What is
off
it
of
called? The New Gods?
New Gods. It's like 1970s when it came out. So it was right after he left working on the Fantastic Four.
Cool.
So there's a lot of similarities between early Marvel and those in DC because Jack Kirby had a big hand in creating it all.
Cool.
So that's it for me.
Do you have a pull
I
list
do.
this week?
I do.
What is a pull list, Dad?
A pull list is a list of comic books that you give your local comic book shop, and they pull them from their inventory or they order them special for you so that
Hey.
when you get there, they're there. And you don't have to worry about some bum stealing it, which, by the way, somebody tried to steal another comic book from them. Yeah, out of the dollar bin.
Y'all.
Isn't that hilarious? But anyway.
Absolutely not.
Yes. So, these are my books. Are you ready?
Yes. Pin poised.
Let me see if I've got them in order.
Or dared, if you will.
What is it? I can't tell. That's my Marvel. That's my DC. Oh yeah, now we're good. I got
Okay.
them. I got them. Spread them out here. Okay, so my first book is a Marvel book. It's called Ultimate Spider-Man 14. Cool thing about this title, we've talked about it before. The Ultimate Spider-Man comic book happens in the correct timeline, which means it is a month goes by between each issue in real time.
Okay,
So
that's fun.
it is. And this is Peter
You got to
Parker
be creative with that.
and Harry Osborn had been captured by Craven,
No.
and he was basically hunting them. And all the other people from the, like Mysterio and the Mole Man and all these other villains are working for Kingpin, basically. And
Kingpin
yeah.
drama.
So something happens. Peter does escape, and he's like, "We have to leave because they know who I am and they know who you are."
Dun, dun.
But during all this time, his son is
Peter's
wearing the
son?
suit. Yeah, Peter and MJ have a daughter and a son,
Okay, love.
and Peter's Spider-Man suit is very much like a nanotech suit that just mimics and does whatever you want it to do. Very much like a Venom suit, like I would say.
No.
So his son has been out Spider-Manning,
No.
and there's a character in regular continuity called the Black Cat, Felicia Hardy,
Yes, I know
who
that.
I'm a big fan of her. Well, there's a Black Cat in this, and she comes after Spider-Man thinking he's really Spider-Man, and he's like, "I'm not Spider-Man. I don't know what you're talking about." And she goes, "You beat up my dad." And he's like, "I don't even know who you are." You know, that kind of stuff. So you find out that like he's 15, she's 17. So,
Are they in love?
no, but they just sit down, they basically unmask and talk to one another.
I'm dead.
Yeah.
One of my
like,
favorite things to tell Trevin is, hey, Trevin, guess what? When there are two characters on the screen that are like roughly the same
they're
age
in
and are like a little
love.
flirty, I'm like, hey, Trevin, guess what? They're in love.
That's funny. That's terrible. Okay, my independent is
Yes.
Hornsby and Halo issue 4.
Bye.
Image. This is the angel that's been raised by bad people on Earth, and the devil, the demon that's been raised by good people on Earth.
Yes.
To see nature versus nurture.
Yeah.
And they team up, and there's these zombies were coming after everything. And you come to find out the reason they were coming after everything was because the angel's parents, who run a mortuary, were stealing jewelry and stuff from people before they were buried. So they basically the demon boy, the demon girl, and the angel girl team up together to get all that stuff and give it back to everybody. Really cool. We're introduced to another big character in this, and yeah, this is supposed to be part of the Family Odyssey line, which is a little bit weird. It's not terrible, but I don't know if I'd want my kids reading it.
Yeah.
You know,
I mean, it's a bad con, but it's a good con. You don't get
it's really
caught.
good. It's very good. My DC book is Absolute Wonder Woman #5.
Yeah.
This is probably one of my favorite books right now. The art in it is so gorgeous. She gets her lasso in this one. You see how she gets the lasso. It's not like the golden lasso. This is a different kind of lasso.
Is it silver?
No,
Is it iridescent?
It's not. Just stop it. It's just a lasso, but I don't want to give too much away about it.
Okay.
She basically defeats the evil creature.
Emerald.
And it's not. The basically is the lasso has the soul of or the spirit of her mother inside of it.
Oh, that's sweet, but also terrifying. No.
She made it with love and pain, fire and blood. It is a lasso of transmogrification, because transformation is what she knows best. And for you, she demands only the best.
Okay.
So it can transform things that it is wrapped around. She wraps it around herself and becomes almost like this gigantic Medusa to battle this creature. So that's what the lasso does. It's great. Okay. All right. So
okay, love.
my new #1.
Yes.
And I've been having to scale down my books, but I think I'm going to get this book. I'm going to continue this one. So this is like, okay, this is by Dark Horse.
Okay.
So an
We like Dark
independent.
Horse.
It's called Jump Scare, issue
Okay.
1. This is written by Cullen Bunn, Cullenbunn. He is a big horror writer. Like, that's what he's known for. This girl, there's a girl, and she is like a superhero, and she has the ability to pull from anywhere, I don't know, any weapon or device that was ever used in a horror film.
Oh, that's
So like,
sick.
so like,
Chainsaw.
yeah, like from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the
Knife.
chainsaw, for leather faces chainsaw. But now they don't really use those. Like she would be able to use like Freddy's claws or whatever. She would be
Yeah.
able to do. They don't use movies that are out there because then they'd have to pay them to be able to
Yeah.
do that. But she's like seen every B movie, horror movie,
Yeah.
the like sea snails of the depths versus
I'm dead.
bikini, whatever,
I was gonna say
something like
the
that.
drug bear
Yes, like
movies
something like
and
that.
stuff like that.
So like when she's battling evil, like it'll show up. It'll have the movie and where it came from and what it is. And the reason I'm interested in this book is because I want to see how they portray believers, because as of right now it ain't good.
Aww.
Because like her mom and dad are Bible thumpers, but I don't know, there's something not right with them. At the end, she basically leaves home because they don't like what she does. So at the end, she goes back to her mom's house or whatever, it looks like they might be like a televangelist or something because they got a huge mansion, or a Joel Osteen type thing or whatever. And her sister's been kidnapped. So Jump Scare, that's her name, is going to have to try to rescue her sister. The art is cool. It is gruesome. But it is silly gruesome, but it is not for kids. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. You ready for my book of the week?
Book of the week. It's the book of the week.
Okay. Fantastic Four issue 29.
Okay.
This is a One World Under Doom comic book.
Okay.
This is the most political comic book I think I have ever read.
Political in that it's like introducing a political system, or political in like it's a commentary on today's climate?
Bingo, bango, yes.
How do you feel about that?
I don't know. I mean, it is what it is. It was well done.
Because One World Under Doom, the last time that we spoke about it, people were big mad at the good guys for ruining what they had going on.
Right. Well, this is the Thing and Miss the Invisible Woman decide all this stuff going on. They decide they're going to chill out and go have dinner with one of their best friends, the She-Hulk, what's her profession?
A lawyer.
Yes, a good lawyer. So they're talking about the legitimacy of all this that Doom is doing. Why are people going along with this madman? This tyrant who's doing all this stuff. Why are people just falling in and just letting him do things?
Yeah.
Okay. It keeps on going. So, do you remember how Dr. Doom, we talked about this in the past, how he became Sorcerer Supreme? Do you remember?
He needed to borrow something, and when the world was righted or something, he would give it back. But he was like,
do you remember what was going on?
The world is never righted.
Right. So what was going on when that happened was this big series called Blood Hunt, where all these people were turned into vampires.
Yes.
Right. So now people are still vampires, but they can walk among us.
So like Shaun of the Dead walk among us?
But they still have to have like blood or whatever to live.
Like True Blood.
They look like real people.
Okay.
Right? So what's happening in this is that people hate the vampire people because they're different, and they don't want their kids to be with the vampire people. And how is this legally, basically they talk about how Doom is focusing everyone's hate on something to keep them away from showing what he's really trying to do. So I wish I could get more into it, but
Interesting.
so
Who
what
wrote it?
happens is his name's Ryan North. He's been doing Fantastic Four forever. For the last 29 issues, he's been doing the Fantastic Four.
Yeah.
But they the issue is that the vampires have to have something to they have to have
They
it.
got to eat something.
So
Like, I want to suck your
so
blood.
so instead of what Marvel does in their own way is basically come up with a comic book solution. Reed Richards uses his brain to find a way to make
Yeah, like True Blood.
like a thing that they can have so that they don't have to kill people or
Yeah.
whatever. But I'm just saying he threw it out there that like I mean I wish everyone could read this issue and then go, oh,
Yeah.
he's talking about us because that's what he's talking about. And I know who he thinks Doom is. So,
Yeah, it's
yeah.
the TV show True Blood. There's a synthetic product branded TRU blood that
Okay.
allows vampires
All
to
right.
be about. So I was going to say
Ed says daywalkers like in Blade. They are daywalkers. They are, but they're not evil. I mean, they're not evil.
evil.
They're just different. And that's what the issue is.
Mermaid man. Sorry.
I know.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
That's all I got. That's my comics.
Well,
All right.
I'll read it. I'll be home in the next couple of weeks.
You should just sit down and read. It's a lot of words, a lot
Oh
of exposition,
man.
a lot of talking. How
Words.
can they do this? Is this legal? No, it's not legal. Yeah. So anyway.
Interesting.
All right. Hannah and I and the rest of the fam.
And the fam bam.
We're just at a convention. This is going to be the first year in like 5 years that I haven't been at the Lexington Comic Con.
Yeah, at the LexCon.
Yeah. And so, Hannah,
Yes.
Nashville Celebrity Comic
Nashville
Con.
Celebrity Comic Con. First time that the con was ever done in Nashville. Seems like their crew has been doing cons for a minute, though. It's just the first time this one has been in Nashville. It's a small con. Now, granted, I've never been to a con that it was their inaugural year.
Me either. Never.
That was never something that I've ever done.
And I've
before.
never been to one this little before.
And so are all of them about this size when they have their first year? Maybe.
Could be. Maybe.
I don't know. I remember LexCon when it was in the Heritage Room
I do. And
under
it was
Rupp
packed.
Arena.
It was packed. You
But
couldn't
it
even
was
walk through
not it was not a huge space.
No, it wasn't. You're right. It
And
wasn't huge space.
It
And
wasn't
now,
a huge space. And now it's huge.
Now it's like 4 levels of
And that
the convention
was,
center.
shoot, Dad, that was maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The first time we went to LexCon.
That's true.
And
Yeah,
we had
and now
never,
it's 4 days.
Yeah.
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
I think it was 2 days when we went, 2 or 3 days when we went. And we went after church on a Sunday, just me and you on my spring break. I was home from college.
Yeah, I didn't like it. I felt so overwhelmed.
Yeah, it was, well, and
But
all
we
we
had to
did
leave.
was do the vendor booths.
We just walked in, and then I was like, I'm ready to go. You ready to go?
I'm like, yeah.
It was overwhelming to me.
The focus of the con was truly the celebrities that were there. People were paying to. People were there for a couple of reasons.
That's what brought the people in.
Yeah.
People didn't come in for the Comic Con. They came in for the celebrities.
Yeah, people were there for a couple of reasons. People were there who had never been to a con before to meet a specific person.
Mm-hmm.
People were there because they were con goers and this is a new con. Might as well go check it out.
Yeah.
People were there because, my fandom is going to be there. Maybe I can meet some more people in my fandom.
Yeah. The big things were Cobra Kai
Yep.
and 3 Ghostbusters and Stranger Things.
And Disney princesses.
Disney princesses. That's true too.
Yeah. Cobra Kai, Disney princesses, Stranger Things, Ghostbusters.
So from a vendor standpoint,
Not great.
I mean, load in, piece of cake.
Yeah.
Load out, piece of cake. Easy peasy. So easy.
And you've had some pretty horrible Load ins,
Yeah,
load
load ins and
outs.
yeah, oh gosh, yeah. Yeah. This was but I think the direction wasn't the greatest at where to
Yeah.
be, when to be. But it was easy to find somebody. My problem was before it even happened.
Yeah.
But once I got there, the people were extremely nice
Yeah.
and extremely accommodating.
Dad, what was your
And
booth?
what do you mean?
For those people who are maybe listening to our 110th episode and have no idea what mosaic fan art even means.
Well, mosaic fan art is I have to have two booths, which is usually when someone purchases a booth, there's different ways to purchase them. You can
Yep.
purchase what's called an inline booth, which is a booth between other booths, and they're usually less expensive. You
Mm-hmm.
can purchase a corner booth, which is usually more expensive. You can purchase a premier booth, which is like really expensive, which means you have different, better location or whatever. A lot of times, most of the time, all the times I've done them, you get to choose where your booth is from whatever's available on their list at the time, which is what I
And
did. However,
dad's mosaics, dad does stained glass mosaics of
and
small
they're
sizes,
big.
big sizes. Big
Yes.
sizes meaning like what size, Dad? What by what?
Like 30 by 24.
Yeah.
Some of them 2 feet by 3 feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So some of them are pretty big. And so
Some
because
are
of
pretty big.
that, to show inventory,
I
you need a
finished,
double booth.
I need at least two. Yes. And I still can't, it's still pretty crammed in there. So I bought a double booth. My spot was moved, which I didn't like.
Yeah.
They moved me because they had to, because of the way the flow for for celebrities. And
Yep.
I don't know if that was because they didn't realize it or not, or because maybe they didn't. I don't know. I don't know what
Yeah.
the reason was, but the final reason was that the fire marshal said you can't do this, so they had to shift everything around, and my spot got moved to a really bad spot.
Yeah, bad spot. Dad was in the very, very back corner of the con.
Yeah. So anyway, I don't want to complain about that. I still made booth money back
Yep. Let's
thanks to one
go.
guy who bought 8 minis.
Let's go, my guy. I hope that you are loving them in your
I do
house.
too. Sunday was bad.
Yeah.
I didn't sell anything Sunday.
You sold some stickers.
Stickers, that's it. But there wasn't very many people there Sunday. It was way
Well,
lower attended.
again, Celebrity Comic Con. So I don't know if part of this for us is that the cons we've been to have been so big that the celebrity and the like panels are all on different stages. Because this con, all of the celebrities and the panel space was in like one giant room, essentially,
Yes.
with like different hangars, so to speak.
Right. Hmm.
And so like LexCon, because that's the one we know the best, on the top floor is the vendor booth. It's huge. It's massive. This vendor stage is
And
massive.
nowhere near as big as Heroes Con, which is almost twice as big as that.
But then you take an escalator down and then you're in the panel space, and you take an escalator down
Right.
and then you're in the
Autograph space.
autograph space, and you take it, like, you know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
all of these like giant spaces. This con, I'm wondering if like if I do think that there's a high percentage of people that came to the con, went exactly to the person that they wanted to get an autograph from, got an autograph, stood in line for
Right.
3 hours to get the autograph that they wanted, and then left.
Which is why I wanted my booth to be as close to
Yeah.
the celebrity spot as possible, and it wasn't.
Yeah.
But
I do. Yeah. I'm wondering if that was a big part of it.
so here's the deal.
Yeah.
They were the people who run it were like, listen, everybody who gave us a chance, we know we had some issues.
Yeah.
We want to make it good. We want to slash prices on booths for next year, which they did. Mm-hmm. We want to make it, and we want to give you a discount on said booths.
Yeah.
So I signed up again.
I'm not surprised.
But the next one is January 31st through March 1st, or
Which-
February 1st.
Yeah.
So, which could be 70 degrees in Nashville or
It
inches of
could
snow.
be no
We
one's
don't
going
know.
anywhere because we're icing. Everything's iced.
So I'm basically I'm getting 2 corner booths,
Okay.
which is huge,
Yeah.
3 vendor badges, and it is costing me 400 and something dollars less than what I paid
Okay, good.
for what I did this time.
Good.
So
I'm surprised that they're not giving you 2 vendor badges for each booth.
they do. They give you 2, but then I ordered 3 more
Oh, okay. Okay.
so
I'm
that
sorry. I
every
thought you were
member of
saying you
our
got
immediate
3
family.
total.
No. That's 3 extra. 3
Okay.
extra.
Sick.
I don't.
Yeah, because
Yes.
well, here's the thing. And the prices at the con weren't awful.
No.
Trevin and I got what they called a sweetheart package. And so we got 2 tickets for Saturday, 2 tickets for Sunday for $100.
Yeah, that's great. And so I could only afford to get so many vendor badges.
Yeah.
And so Lori and Harper wanted to come. They found a Groupon buy one get one free
Yeah.
and came on
So
Saturday.
they did have some good coupons going. They had some cool specials going.
And I have a feeling that we'll run some specials at Christmas.
Yeah.
Because this is going to happen a
This is
month
going to
after
be,
Christmas.
right after. The good thing is that you're getting people right at the end of No Spend January.
Mm-hmm.
So that's a good thing. It's not right after Christmas.
Yeah.
Can I say the coolest thing other than being there for you and to celebrate you?
Oh, go ahead. Tell everybody who you got to meet.
Okay, so you all. Trevin got a Greg Romp.
Oh, yeah, that.
A Wirt costume from
Yes.
Over the Garden Wall from my dear sweet brother who does our intro music for Christmas.
Not intro music. He makes the art.
You're right. Thank you. I'm sorry, Brockwell.
That's okay.
So he dressed up as Wirt, and then we bought me a costume, and I dressed up as Greg. Here's the thing. I wore on my head a plastic teapot at a cattywampus angle.
It was
and
perfect.
my neck hurts still. I'm like, is this what being like 30 is?
That's hilarious.
My neck hurts.
That's so crazy.
Yeah,
It looked great. And you carried
yeah.
the president around with you.
I carried Mr. President. I have him still.
The frog.
Here's
And which
Jason
was funny was
Funderburker.
the very next day, we saw another lady dressed up as
dressed up as Greg, who had a Mr. President, and Dad from across the hall said, "Mr. President."
And then I told Hannah, go give her a rock fact.
But such a cool thing about this con was that one of my favorite YouTubers was there, and I got to go meet her. It was Rachel Maxey was there, and I got to go meet her and take a picture with her, and I got a little.
And yes, I heard that all of the celebrities that were there were so nice.
Yeah. Chevy Chase was there, which is just random.
It was weird. He was like sitting in a chair.
The big draw. And he was in like a confessional cubby thing where like you couldn't see him. Like he was in like this booth that was the size of Dad's booth, but it was completely covered by curtains. And
he was sitting in a chair and you just went in and took a picture and left.
And you were like invited into his cubby.
And yes, forgive me, Chevy, for I have done bad things.
I was like, what? Because
That's weird.
Trevin and I went over just to like kind of see what it looked like. And let me tell you, they had some people in line to see some of these famous people. So
next year, they will have all 3 spaces of the fairground. So there is a space the same size as where our vendors were. That's on the exact other side of where the celebrities were. They will have all 3 of those spaces next time.
Cool.
So people will walk through. I don't know how they'll do that with celebrities.
I hope that they do I hope that they make you walk through the vendor section.
Yeah, to get to the celebrities.
Yeah,
I do too. I don't know how they would do that.
From like a flow perspective.
Yeah. So, anywho.
I mean, like, yeah, it was cool. It was fun. I got to meet a person that I've watched on YouTube since 2017, which is wild.
That's cool.
I was like, I've watched you on YouTube for almost 10 years. This is crazy.
Our friend Ed said that Val Kilmer's booth at the Lexington Comic-Con several years ago was the same way. And Val Kilmer had some serious health issues.
He had some health problems. So I wonder if Chevy Chase had some health problems as well.
Well, he's getting up there.
Or if he's just like, I mean, hey, what would, if I was a super famous person, pay for my photo?
I mean, it was $160, I think, to
It
get a
was
photo with him.
expensive. It was expensive.
Yeah.
My photo with Rachel was free.
Yeah, she said that. That's cool that she
She
said
was
that.
cool. She's dressed as Princess
So
Leia. It was fun.
overall, it had mixed feelings about
Yeah.
about it. But the best part was that I have family there. So I
Yeah.
got to spend time with Hannah and Trevin and Miriam and Corey and Nathan
Dear
came.
sweet Nate.
Kathy. And then we saw Brock and Ashley and Isla and Harper
Harper.
and Wally and Lori.
Yeah, we had some
That's
good
fun.
family.
So
Yeah.
that's why I would do it again. So if I spend, what I spend and I make booth money back, which I did, and got a few contacts. I don't know if I'll hear from them people or not. I may email them tomorrow. But
Yeah.
so yeah, there you go.
Met
It
some
was
interesting people. We met a gentleman who scuba dives and had a professional, I almost said mermaid man,
no,
Aquaman
he was
suit made.
Aquaman. He had a suit made to make him
He
look
had
like
an
Aquaman.
Aquaman scuba suit made,
Isn't that
which
crazy?
was sick. Some random person asked for our photo, posted it on the internet, and then one of Trevin's friends who used to play Ultimate Frisbee with him said, "Is this you?" Question mark.
Wait, of you and Greg and
Of
Wirt?
me and Trevin as Greg and Wirt.
Oh, I'll have to find that photo. You have to just send
And
send me the
then
link so I can
Trevin
see where
said,
it is.
"Can confirm."
Can confirm.
So Trevin and
Yeah,
I are
that's what
famous.
I know you are. Absolutely.
Catch me in a booth where you can take a photo with me and pay $160.
I just 10. That's all. Take a photo. I should start doing that when people go, "It's okay if I take photos?" I said for $160. $10 mihala. No. of
Here's my
course not.
Venmo.
Here's my Venmo.
Tips, please.
Buy a sticker. Yeah. I only had one person get a free sticker. Although
Really?
I did have my guy who does the recaps. He messaged me, said, Princess
That's
Bride. Yeah,
so
but
funny.
Harper was the only one.
Yeah. She came up
free
and went,
sticker.
"Princess Bride, Princess Bride." And mom was like,
What are
"Okay."
you talking about? Yeah. All right. That's it, guys.
But yeah, it was fun.
So the con, I would say most people who went as goers had a good time.
Yeah.
Vendors were probably a little disappointed that they
Yeah.
didn't do as well as they thought they could have.
There
However,
was only a couple other booths that was as cool as your stuff.
nobody's as cool as my stuff,
Well,
and you know that.
yeah. Well, there's this booth I really liked, and she did like Japanese style art, like the oceans and like trees and like stuff like that.
That's cool.
But she like put anime things in it.
Yeah. Trevin
it
has
was-
said the best thing. The con has potential.
I think so too. And again, I don't know if this is just what a first con looks like.
Yeah. I don't know.
I've never been to a first con before.
I've never been to a con at the end of January and the 1st of February either. So
It'll be a blast.
it doesn't matter. We'll have a blast no matter what
We'll have a
happens.
blast. I will dress up as something.
Yeah. I may
Catch me
too.
dressing up as something.
I might get my Grunkle Stan outfit. I could be Grunkle Stan.
Dad, if you were Grunkle Stan, Trevin and I would definitely go. I'm just going ahead and saying this for us, my love. But we would definitely go as Dipper and Mabel.
Dipper and Mabel. Yeah.
If you,
'Cause I could
what
be
if
Grunkle
we
Stan.
all did Dad?
What are you going to make? Nathan be little Gideon?
Nathan as little Gideon would be so funny.
Who would mom be? That one girl with the
Lazy
weird
Susan.
eye? Lazy
Mom
Susan.
could be Lazy Susan.
Mom would die.
Jennifer
She's not gonna
Coolidge.
do that.
It's
No.
Jennifer Coolidge, though.
Not going to happen. She's not going to be Lazy Susan.
Oh, that would be so funny.
She could be the girl, though. Who was the girl?
Yeah, make way for Grinda. She could be.
Not Grenda. No, the girl that works at the place.
Yeah, Trevin knows. Wendy.
Wendy. Yeah, she could be Wendy. Anyway, Hannah, close her down.
Friends, thanks for hanging out with us on our little corner of the internet. Hey, our intro music is performed and composed by Brockwell Nason. Thanks for doing that for us, my dear sweet cousin. Nate makes our art. Thanks for doing that for us, bud. I edit and upload our podcast, and Dad takes care of our YouTube page.
When I do.
When you do.
That's right. And thank you, new people that hopped on at the
welcome,
con.
friends.
Welcome, friends. And
Yeah.
next episode is our 111th.
Our 111th.
It is the Hobbit Lord of the Rings Spectacular
LOTR
all day long.
extravaganza.
It'll be the greatest adventure
is what
What lies ahead? Which, by the way, is now all of those animated are on Max. Every one of them.
La la la
All
lee.
right. So, guys, we can't wait to see you hop in here. I think we'll probably go next week. And if we do, it'll be all Lord of the Rings. Come ready to talk because we're going to have Elijah Wood here. We're going to have Ian McKellen. We're going to have Viggo Mortensen.
No.
We're going to have what? We're not going to have those people here.
It'll be, I mean, I could pretend to be Gollum.
Oh, yeah.
The only thing I can
Andy Serkis and Stephen Colbert because he's a huge fan
Stephen
of Lord of the
Colbert.
Rings.
Lord of the Rings is the #1 trilly.
And as Ed asked, we will have a second breakfast during our, and we'll have potatoes as well during the
Boil
show.
them, mash them, stick them in a stew.
Yeah.
Taters?
What's taters? Aye? Okay. Friends.
Taking the hottest to Isengard.
Yeah, we're going to, yeah. What? Where was Gondor when the Westfold fell?
Where was Gondor? Okay, we need to be done.
We're going to keep going. We could go on forever. Yes. Listen, guys, thank you so much for joining us. Until next time, we will
catch you on the flippity flop.
Bye, guys.
Friends.